The second unit of the course will examine the economic growth and social reforms of the nation experienced at the turn of the century. Through a critical analysis of political cartoons, you'll examine varying reactions to the growth of American imperialism in the 1890s and the influences it had on the wave of reform movements in the Progressive Era. You'll examine domestic propaganda from World War I to gain an understanding of the importance of the home front to the U.S. war effort. Finally, you'll examine the social and economic changes of the 1920s, analyzing a trial to understand how growing nativism and fears of radicalism impacted the immigrant community and creating a photographic timeline to create a visual representation of the major developments of the decade. In the 1890s, the United States fought to guarantee economic prosperity by asserting its influence on foreign governments. Through conflicts like the Spanish-American War and policies like the Open Door, the U.S. imposed economic dominance in Mexico, the Caribbean, and Asia. Some viewed American imperialism as beneficial to the local population, while others imposed imperialism as counter to the ideals of the nation. The turn of the century also saw an increase in immigration to both the East and West coasts and an accompanying backlash of nativism. In response to problems caused by industrialization and urbanization, numerous reform movements were established in the Progressive Era. Progressives tackled a myriad of social and political issues ranging from living and working conditions of unskilled laborers to monopolies to environmentalism. African American progressives like Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois fought against discrimination. In 1917, the U.S. abandoned its policy of neutrality and entered World War I. The nation was forced to rapidly mobilize for the conflict, expanding the power of the federal government and involving the home front in the war effort. The outcome of the war and conditions of the Treaty of Versailles had profound effects for the entire world. Fear of political radicalism created a Red Scare and negative backlash for many immigrants in the U.S. The economic consequences of the war and the treaty set up the global economy for the Great Depression and the rise of Adolf Hitler in Germany. After involvement in World War I, largely seen as a mistake, the nation entered a period of isolationism. Post-war economic prosperity in the 1920s was aided by pro-big business federal administrations. The 1920s also saw cultural and social revolutions as the youth revolted against the social mores of their parents, and mass culture created a culture of consumption.